In this video, we're going to talk about the current COVID and visa situation in Latin America and also about the future of Latin America. There are some countries that have really been doing fantastically well in that region. Along with Eastern Europe, I think Latin America is probably one of the best regions in the world right now. Looking at some countries that have had a little bit of a hard time, the first country that I really wanted to talk with you about is Argentina. As you guys know, Argentina just recently opened up to fully vaccinated tourists from most countries, but Argentina has really implemented one of the most toughest, strictest lockdowns over the past 18 months. And things are far from being back to normal in Argentina. I think right now the Argentine government actually accepts travelers with a negative PCR test as well. I think this is really good news for people who just didn't get the shot yet or who are opposed to getting the shot. It gives them an opportunity to travel without needing to be vaccinated. One of the things that you have to know about Argentina, though, is that things are far from normal there. So yeah, you are allowed to enter. However, there's no guarantee that the country will be open 2 months from now. It all depends on the current COVID situation. Should COVID cases, hospitalizations, and death rates shoot up again, well, you can guess. Chances are the Argentine government will shut the country down again. They will enforce lockdowns again. Given the current time of the year that we're in, I don't think this is going to happen because businesses have been shut for such a long time, and I think they also have an upcoming election. However, they really need to keep the country open for people to earn a living. So I really don't think that they will shut it down right away. If you happen to be in Argentina in spring 2022, just be prepared that this is a definite possibility. As of right now, businesses operate at a limited capacity, 50 to 75%, depending on the business category. Other things like nightclubs and certain entertainment venues are still closed. You can guess salsa is probably not a lot of fun in Argentina right now. Now, tourism was down a staggering 92% in 2020. No doubt the Argentine government wants to improve on last year's numbers. So opening up right now, even though only 58% of Argentina's population is fully vaccinated, is kind of a must. You can only sit on your hands for so long. Things have to return to normal for people to live their lives, for people to earn a living. So I think the Argentine government is really pressured to open up to international tourists right now. Another country that is having more problems lately is the Dominican Republic. And I don't want to shade some bad light on the Dominican Republic because it is a fantastic country, great beaches, fantastic culture. It is just a phenomenal country in so many ways. While you can travel to the Dominican Republic without having to prove that you don't have the disease, so no negative PCR test is required, plus you are also not required to be fully vaccinated. This is still great news. However, the recent changes when it comes to accessing services in the country have really upset a lot of people. Now, you can go to the Dominican Republic unvaccinated without a negative PCR test. However, for you to go to a local business, let's say, you want to have a beer, you want to have coffee, you want to have a meal, you want to go into a shopping mall, you want to attend any public place, you can't do that unless you have your vaccination card with you or unless you have proof of not having COVID, right? So a negative PCR test would work as well. This is a brand new requirement, okay? Everyone who was in the Dominican Republic in September, August, July, they never had to deal with any of this. People going to Dominican right now as tourists are allowed to remain within the tourist establishments like hotels, resorts. You can use transportation from the airport to your accommodation without needing to be vaccinated, without needing to prove the negative PCR test. As soon as you go outside and you want to live life just like the locals do, or not just like the locals do, you want to go out, you want to do things, you do need it. This is upsetting because there's a lot of people have already booked their vacation to the Dominican Republic this winter, and they're not going to get vaccinated right now. First of all, it takes too much time to get double vaxxed. It's the first shot, and then you need to wait a couple weeks. It's a month for the second shot, and then it's another 14 days before we can leave the country, right? So we're talking at least 6 weeks, and that's assuming that you can get an appointment quickly. So a lot of people, they're already on their way to the DR. Now with these new requirements, they are gonna taste the cold, hard truth, which is unpleasant, really, really unpleasant. However, there's nothing you can do at this point, right? So I guess what these people are gonna end up doing is maybe get vaccinated in the Dominican Republic, or just get a PCR test done, or hope that some businesses are not gonna ask. Panama has always been open with restrictions. You can travel to Panama right now. If you're vaccinated with a negative PCR test, you can get into the country. It's not going to be a big problem. If you've been looking into the Friendly Nations visa, a program which was initially launched, I think, in 2008, this program has undergone some drastic changes over the past months. And as of right now, you cannot obtain residency by just depositing $5,000 or more into a local bank account. This is no longer an option. It used to be just a simple $5,000 bank deposit, plus you were required to open up a company. This has changed, unfortunately. The new requirements are that you currently hold a work permit, so you're employed by a company in Panama. This is one option, right? If you have the work permit, then you can apply for residency. Option 2 is you invest in real estate, and the minimum investment amount is $200,000. The stakes have gone up. I mean, the investment option was available all the time. The low entry, the startup entrepreneur option no longer exists in Panama today. Now that we talked about all the countries that are really having problems right now, some countries are having problems with COVID restrictions, entry requirements, that a lot of people from the West don't want to put up with, they don't want to travel under these conditions, which is totally understandable. It requires more time, it requires more money. They don't want to put themselves through it. So the question is, where can those people go? Where can you go and have a relatively restriction-free vacation this winter? And the good news is that there is a lot of places in Latin America that are still fully open, that haven't really changed their approach too much. And the places that I'm talking about are Mexico, Colombia, and Costa Rica. Mexico has been extremely liberal when it comes to letting tourists enter the country. You can jump on a plane right now, leave for Mexico, and arrive just a couple hours later. But there are some rumors. I've read, a lot of people's experiences on Facebook, especially the Facebook groups, where people are talking about not being given the 180-day tourist visa anymore. Instead, they got like 15 days and 30 days. And there is some speculation going on that the people who are getting the 15 and 30-day visas, that those people have already been admitted into Mexico and had been given the 180-day visa before, and now they're cutting it down because they want to avoid that more and more people come to the country and try to live in the country on just a tourist visa. Because as you know, Mexico has a very liberal temporary residence program, which is really easy to obtain as long as you have savings. I think the amount as of right now is $25,800. If you can prove you have that amount in your bank account for, I think, 6 to 8 months, you can obtain temporary residency in Mexico, which then leads to permanent residency, and which leads to citizenship. But there are people that entered Mexico over the past weeks, and they were given the 180 days. So we don't quite know what the exact factors are. Previous visits to Mexico, especially lengthy visits to Mexico, or you leaving, you coming back in within a couple of days, probably draw some attention. It's probably a red flag. Coming to Mexico for, let's say, the first time, or you've been in Mexico for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a year ago, or even maybe 6 to 8 months ago, and now you're coming back into the country, probably, or I would say likely, shouldn't have a problem. Another country that has been really liberal when it comes to COVID is Colombia. Now, traveling to Colombia during the pandemic has been a little bit difficult at times. Colombia offers a 90-day tourist visa to a lot of nationals, so if you come to the country, it should be fairly easy for you to get that visa, and there's also an option to extend. So before the 90 days are up, you simply file the petition online, so you get another 90 days extended, so you have a total of 180 days in the country. Colombia hasn't really shifted focus at all, we know, when it comes to immigration into the country. You know, the 90-day tourist visa was always available. It is available right now. It doesn't look like things are going to change in the near future. Another country that offers a 90-day tourist visa is Costa Rica. Now, traveling to Costa Rica during winter is just what everyone wants. You know, you have amazing beaches, you can really enjoy the great beach lifestyle in Central America. Costa Rica offers a 90-day tourist visa, which unfortunately cannot be extended for another 90 days. However, if you do want to stay in the country for a longer period of time, you do have the option to obtain a long-term visa, such as a residence permit, digital nomad visa, and there's a couple of other work visas available as well. Which of the discussed Latin countries are you going to visit this winter? Are you currently in any of the countries we discussed in this video? Leave a comment below and let us know. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm uploading new videos on digital nomad locations, travel updates, and visas several times a week. Before I let you go, I got 2 recommendations for you. Recommendation 1, I shot a video on countries where you can live on as little as $1,000 a month. If you want to watch this video, click on the link right here. Recommendation 2, I shot another video on the best countries for single guys. This is a really good one. If you want to watch this video, click right here. Thank you for watching.